welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. If you're new here, my name's Amanda, and on this channel I make quite literally whatever content I fancy making. Now this is a video that I have been meaning to make for a fairly long time, months and months. So back in November I uploaded part 1 of my celebration of reaching 100 subscribers. In that video I made a pumpkin pie for the first time, and the intention was to film and upload part 2 of that video and have it up by the end of 2025. But in this video, as I mentioned in the last part 1 video, I am going to be doing a recipe to thank my UK subscribers, because I looked at my analytics and the two most represented countries among those that watch my videos is the US and the UK. So I had to think for a little while. At first I thought, oh, what can I make? There's so many things that came to mind. One of the first things I thought about making was a crumble, and I was like, no, but I've eaten so many crumbles in my life. And then I thought maybe I could do like a pie of some description, and I thought, no, let me do something that is also new, keeping with the theme of the pumpkin pie video, something that I've never tried that is in some sense quintessentially British. And then I stumbled upon this recipe, which is allegedly the Queen's favourite dessert. And my face looks confused because the ingredients are so simple, and one would think if you are the Queen, you would pick anything in the world, and it probably wouldn't be one of the cheapest cookies in the world and some chocolate. So yeah, it should be a relatively easy recipe. This is a no-bake chocolate biscuit cake. Let's get into it. I hope you enjoy this video, and do let me know if you make this. I'm hoping that it'll be good. I mean, what can be bad really about biscuits and chocolate? What could go wrong? Famous last words. Anyway. These will need to be creamed together at some point, but what I'm going to do is get past the slightly more tedious task of breaking up these rich tea biscuits. This is 300 grams, a 300 gram packet. I only need 225 grams of it, so I'm going to weigh it out and then see how we go. Okay. Oh, I've just realised something. I misread the scale with my sugar and my butter. I was supposed to put 115 grams of each, but I think what I've done is I've put just under 140 grams of each. You know, this is a little bit of a mental nightmare for somebody that's bad at maths. So now I have to calculate how many rich teas I need. Oh gosh. Okay, I'll be back once I've run the numbers. Okay, so crisis averted. I calculated that I've basically gone over by 20 grams for the butter and the sugar, so I will just add an extra 20 grams worth of rich tea and an extra 20 grams of dark chocolate so that we stay on track. Okay, let's hope I don't do any more miscalculations for the rest of this recipe. Okay, so I have broken up the rich tea biscuits into little pieces, and now I am going to sort out the chocolate. So I've already put some chocolate into this bowl to weigh. That's 100 grams, and I'm going to get some more. This is the chocolate that I'm using. If anyone is curious, I always use this brand when baking. I think it's great, and yeah, it's just super tasty. Okay, so I've just put some hot water from the tap into this pot, and then I am going to use this glass bowl on top to melt the chocolate. It's very important that if you are going to be melting chocolate in this way, that you ensure that the water in the pot doesn't touch the bottom of the bowl. This literally just sits perched on top, and the water is only, it's like less than halfway up the pot. So yeah, that's that. As for this, I'm going to cream this together first before I put the heat on underneath this, because this won't take very long to melt. So yeah, next step, cream together the butter and the sugar. Okay, so this is the butter and sugar combined. Now I am going to melt the chocolate. Right, so I'm reusing the spatula from the sugar and the butter. It's fine because this will be mixed into the sugar and butter momentarily anyway. There are few things that are better than the smell of melted chocolate. It smells so yummy. This makes me want to make brownies. Getting there slowly but surely. Okay, so that's the chocolate done. Feel free to ignore my eggs there. That's for my lunch. A girl has to eat. And for now I will leave this pot here, mainly as a reminder that this surface is hot, so that I don't accidentally put something on top of it and start melting the plastic. Okay, so I'm going to add in the chocolate. Oh, let me get rid of this spoon for a second. Okay, add in this chocolate. Add in just a tiny bit for now. Okay, and I'm going to put in the rest of it. I think I will just try and mix in that much and then add in the other half. Right, I'm going to add the rest. I just wanted to make sure that my, amounts were correct, but I can see there's plenty of chocolate left. There we go. And now I'm going to mix it all together and ensure it is all well coated with the chocolate. Right, I think this looks pretty well coated to me. Now I am going to grab my tin, which I've actually been storing in the fridge. I just thought it would help with the cooling down process. And then I'm going to pack it in to that loaf tin as best as I possibly can. And then it'll be time for it to go in the fridge to chill. This one tin, which I have done my best to pack in as much as possible. I am going to pop this into the fridge now for 3 hours, and then we can come back to it and see what it looks like and see what it tastes like. In the recipe that I am following, it does say that you can coat it with chocolate once it's like set together. I'll see if I do that. I'm not sure, we'll see. But I'm going to pop this in the fridge. I still have a fair amount of the mixture left. So I think what I'll do is I will make up another one of the loaf tins that I have and put the remainder in here and pop that in the fridge also to chill. Okay, slight change of plan. So I have these loaf tin liners. I don't use them at all, and I thought I've just grabbed 2 of them to make it a little bit more sturdy, and I'm just going to fill this up with the rest of the mixture and pop it in the fridge. This will save me extra washing up. I think you've seen the amount of mess I've already made, and I don't want to be standing up forever washing the dishes today. It's almost 1 p.m, so I will see you again at almost 4 p.m. Right, so it's just gone 2:30. It hasn't been that long, but I did just poke and prod the first one that I made, and it feels firm to me. I don't know if I'm being too impatient, but like it does feel firm. And then I started doing a little bit of research online, and there's another lady that's made a chocolate biscuit cake, and she only allowed it to set in the fridge for 30 minutes. I've already done more than that. I mean, in not too much time, it will be 2 hours. I think it's worth the risk. Right, so I have melted the chocolate in the microwave and it looks beautiful and glossy and just gorgeous. And what I've done is I've grabbed a tray and I've put some greaseproof paper over it, and I've just got this that I'm popping on top, and then I will give this a couple of minutes to cool down a little bit because it is a bit warm. Just trying to take the initial warmth off of it, and then I'll demold the cake, and then we can coat it, and then I will put this back in the fridge if anything. Okay, so this is what it looks like initially coming out of the fridge. Very firm, very firm. Right, so this is what it looks like at the moment. Now this would be particularly good if you had like a mini jug, like or a bowl with a spout. I can imagine that would be quite useful, but I'm just going to use what I have. So yeah, I'm going to slowly cover it. Should I cover it with a spoon, or should I'm wondering what the best technique is for this. Let's see. Okay, let's stop a little bit, and I'm just going to use my spatula to kind of push the chocolate around. Okay. I'm going to try to move relatively fast because unlike a regular cake, this is cooler, and so it will start setting much quicker. It does look quite good though. I'm just kind of using the spatula almost like a paintbrush to try and cover as much surface as possible. I do think it's crazy though that the Queen, like, this is what was her favourite cake. Out of all of the things, so random and simple, but I suppose, you know, there's a lesson in that. Despite all the money and everything in the world, sometimes the simplest comforts are what everyone wants in life. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. Let's put some more on this edge. And maybe a little bit more on this corner. There we go. And maybe a little bit more on this corner. I can see it setting now a bit. Okay. Right. So I'll leave it at that for now. I just remembered that I saved some little bits of chocolate to add to this one. I've just taken it back out of the fridge before it firms up to the point of no return. And I'm just going to dot those little pieces of chocolate on the top. Not necessary, but I just thought that I would add some little chunks of dark chocolate. Okay, put it here. Great, I've just added some dark chocolate to the top. I'm going to pop it back in the fridge now, and I'm going to put this one, this not so attractive one, in the fridge as well. Right, I have taken it out of the fridge. This is what we have. I think it looks really quite yummy actually, and so now it is time to cut into it. For context, it is just like almost 3:30, so I think that's sufficient amount of time. Now, maybe I could have done the chocolate placements a little bit better in terms of for slicing. So, okay, let's start on this side. Okay, the first slice partially broke, but it looks quite nice. Let's see. Okay, I think it will probably cut much nicer once I leave it to chill even more. But I do have these really yummy bits, so I'm going to gather some of these together and give this a try. So I've got some of the bits here. I'm going to give it a try. I think I'll give one of the top bits a go. So I'm going to try this a little bit. So I think it is good. Now, one thing to note, if you like, if you're not a huge fan of dark chocolate, this will probably be a bit too rich for you. If so, then maybe you can just swap some of the dark chocolate out for milk chocolate, or actually it would probably be really nice as a milk chocolate biscuit cake. So that's also a point of consideration. But yeah, I think it tastes really nice. I mean, again, as I said, what can be really bad about some biscuits and some chocolate? I thought it was going to be too sweet because there's quite a lot of chocolate, quite a lot of sugar. But the dark chocolate really cancels that out. That is also something probably that you'd have to keep into consideration if you do change to milk chocolate, because of course milk chocolate is sweeter. But yeah, I think it will slice up much better once I leave it to set and firm up a bit more in the fridge. But this is just the cross section so that you can see it in better detail. And yeah, nice little treat. So once it's firmed up a bit more, I'm going to slice it up and just store it in an airtight container for myself and my family to enjoy. So yeah, thank you again to my UK based subscribers. Very much appreciate you, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you enjoy making this recipe. If you do in the future, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and take care.